channel. My name is Rose if you're new, and in today's video I'm going to basically be talking about why I quit Sephora. So I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to give you the basics reasons. I have nothing against Sephora. I love Sephora and I really enjoyed working there, but it just was not for me, and you guys will basically get to know why. And if you guys are wanting to work at Sephora, because it is such a dream job, everybody would love to work for Sephora, I just want you guys to take these into consideration and see maybe if you would really love it. And if it sounds kind of like a job that you would love to do, then obviously go for it, go ahead. But I'm just gonna be spilling the tea, and make sure you guys are following me on Instagram, and we'll just get started with the video. All right, so we are currently in July 2019. I worked at Sephora not for a long time. I was only working for 4 months until I was like, oh my god, I could not take it anymore. So I was seasonal. I did not have like the official bread uniform. I just wore all black, which was totally fine. I started working there from October of last year, so October 2008 till January 2019. Everybody was super nice, everybody was super friendly, and the managers were great. Everybody was great. So I had nothing absolutely to do with the staffs, with the managers, anything like that. Everything was pretty much great as far as that. At the time I was going to school and working at Sephora and working at another boutique, so I did have 2 jobs and school. So I was like hustling, trying to get shifts and stuff like that. So I did get hired as a seasonal, what was it? I think it was like a beauty advisor on the floor, helping people out. Normally, I guess when you work Sephora, or when you apply for Sephora, you don't get that position right away. You get cashier. But because thankfully I did have background in working at a makeup counter, which I used to work at Benefits, I used to work at Planet Beauty, and I went to makeup school, and I've done freelancing. So I think because of that, it helped a lot, me just skipping the register step and just going onto the floor. So I was hired for that, and I loved it. I loved going into work and just helping people and finding their shades and giving them samples and just finding their colors, and you know, just like the aspect of what you think Sephora would be. But I got over that so quickly. I thought it was just seasonals at first, but there's this thing where I'm not sure if all Sephora locations do it, but I'm pretty sure. And there was this thing called on-call. I thought it was just seasonal people only that would have on-call, but it was actually all the employees. So what I thought on-call was, because I used to be on-call when I started working at Macy's, which if somebody wants to give their shift away, they'll give it to you, and that's how you would get shifts. Well, this one was a little bit of a different on-call that I've never heard of before. I don't know if you guys heard it before, or I never knew this was a thing. So for an example, I would be maybe like 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then I was on call till 9 p.m. or even closing, which would be like 10:30 or 11. I really don't remember the time that it was, but you would be on call. So yeah, your shift says till 5 p.m. but you're on call till 9 or 9:30 or 10 or 10:30, and the managers have the decision to tell you if you're off at 5 right when it's at 5 p.m. not like an hour before, so you can be like, okay, well, I can do something today, not like 2 days in advance. Like, no, you will know right when it hits at 5 if you can leave or not, which to me it totally sucked, because I would always get Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, which obviously were the days that I wanted to go and hang out with my family or hang out with my boyfriend and stuff like that. So it would be like, hey Rose, can you go out tonight? Like, can we go to, I don't know, like the movies tonight at 9? And I'd be like, well, I don't know, because I'm on call till 5, and I don't know if I'm staying till 9 or 10:30 or whatever time they basically say. So majority of my shifts were like that. I wouldn't say 80% of my shifts were on-call shifts. I was scheduled from this time to this time, but if they needed me to extend they have the power for me to extend, and it wasn't as if it was a choice for me. It wasn't like, oh, okay, yeah, I could stay. Or if something happened, like I have to go pick up my mom at the airport or something at 7, and I might be off at 5 or I might be off at 10, like, can I know now? They're like, no, you have to wait till 5, like we can't tell you. So that was a huge con for me, because it was really frustrating. It was really freaking annoying for me, and it was 80% of my shift. I really hated that, and I thought maybe like, oh well, if I get permanent, will that change? Like, no, everybody got that. So that was a huge deal breaker for me, because I just really didn't like that. And say because I did work my second job, say like there would be a situation where maybe I needed to go in. I've had plenty of times where I've done maybe like 9 to 4 and then 4 to close or something at my second job. Like, it was all in the same mall. It was really frustrating. And if you could totally live like that, I don't know how parents did it, like the people that worked there that had kids. Like, how do you do it? Like, I can't even do it. So that was like a huge con for me, and that was like a deal breaker for me. I just did not want to. And secondly, the reason why I left was because the other job that I was working at, it was a boutique, it was going out of business. So I needed something that fit the hours that was giving me both jobs. Now I just had Sephora, which was fine, because I did think that I wanted to work there permanently at one point. And I was like, okay, so once I'm permanent, am I going to be getting this amount of hours, or how many hours am I going to be getting? Because bills don't stop. Like, you know, I have to pay my bills. I have to make sure that I'm getting enough hours to, you know, still pay my bills and still spend money on makeup and unnecessary, you know, that makes us happy. So when I would ask around, like, you know, like, how are your hours? Like, are you liking your hours? To other coworkers, they were saying that they didn't really get too great of hours. So I was like really scared of me staying there permanently. Of course, if they asked. And I actually left before I got an answer if I was going to be permanent, because although I did want to be permanent, I'm so thankful that I left. I feel like overall I just wasn't happy there. Because I do a lot of makeup on Instagram, I would get clients every now and then asking, oh my gosh, can you do my makeup this Friday, or can you do my makeup this Saturday? Like, I know it's last minute. So if I'm doing a makeover that's around from $50 to $65 that I could do in just 1 hour, versus working a full 8-hour shift and I get like that amount, or a little bit less, or a little bit more, like, which one are you gonna go towards? Obviously I want to work an hour and gain that money, plus it's something that I love to do, plus I'm not getting taxed from it, versus if I work an 8-hour shift and I exhausted the whole day. Obviously I want to do freelancing, you know. So around that time too, I was getting a lot more clients, and it was really hard, and I would have to reject a lot of them because I couldn't get Saturday off. I couldn't get Saturdays off at Sephora, like, no. And even if we did do makeovers at Sephora, we were not allowed to get tips, which everywhere that you work, you're not really allowed to take tips unless, you know, they allow you to and they say like you're okay. I think Planet Beauty did let me get tips, I want to say, I'm not too sure. But big corporations like that normally don't let you take tips. So that was another thing that I was like, you know what, like, I'm rejecting so many clients when I can just be working for myself. Like, that's something that I've always envisioned. I don't think I was really doing YouTube a lot at that time because I just never really had time. I never had a set schedule at Sephora, and that's what I hated. I didn't have a set schedule. Every week was a different week, and I just personally didn't love that because I have school and I'm trying to do YouTube and I'm trying to take pictures on Instagram. I'm trying to work for myself while still working for a different company and obviously getting money. So it was just clashing. I wasn't happy. And just towards the end of the month, when it was in January, I was just completely over it. Working at Sephora is such a fast pace. You have to be on your A game all the time. There is constantly people wanting to ask you questions. Can you match my foundation? I would wear walkies, so like they'll be like, Rose, where are you? We have another client in Huda Beauty that needs to get matched. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll be there in a couple minutes. I'm matching somebody right now. And like, okay, so once I'm done with this client now, I'm gonna go work on this client and she needs her foundation matched too. And then boom, as soon as I get there, somebody else is asking me for help, like, oh, I need to get a foundation match too. So then I'm like, okay, well, I can't work on 2 people at once, so I have to go on the walkie and be like, hi, I need somebody else here here in Huda Beauty. She needs to get another match too. And so it's very fast paced, and I was okay with that. Like, I loved it because it would make my days go by quick. But they don't, I just started to slowly see that retail is not for me. I just started not being happy anymore. I was just like, I think I'm over wanting to help people. I don't want to help people anymore. And once it's not fun for you, I think it shows in your attitude. I think it shows in you that you just don't want to do it anymore. And I think that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And it's just knowing like, okay, I tried this step. Now I came to realize that I don't love it. And that's fine, because you think like, oh my god, I've always wanted to work here, I've always wanted to do this, and I love helping people, and I love showing people different makeup looks. Yeah, it was nice while it lasted, but I was just like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I'm getting so annoyed. I was getting very annoyed, like, Rose, we need you in here, we need you there. And it's like, okay, I would just smile and I would just do what I had to do. And then as soon as I was off, I was like, oh my god, thank god, my feet hurt, I'm exhausted, I'm tired. Like, you're just mentally drained, physically drained, and it was just like, I'm so thankful that I chose not to stay, because I took a leap. But I ended up getting an office job, a 9 to 5, and it was just kind of like data entry. And I was like, is that what I want to do? A 9 to 5 job, data entry, just sitting on a desk doing work? Like, is that really what I want to do? But honestly, I love it so much. It was like one of the best jobs I've ever had, and I'm so thankful that I did end up leaving Sephora and I went to that job, because I personally got to work on my Instagram. I got to work on myself. It gave me more mental space, and I loved it. So I hope this doesn't discourage you from being at Sephora. There is, of course, many pros to Sephora. Yes, you did get so much free stuff. Yes, you got to learn, you know, like more makeup courses. That they do hold makeup courses, so that way you kind of go and see each brand and you get to learn. Yes, you get to talk about makeup all day. But after a while, maybe because I worked at Benefit and Planet Beauty, I was just over it. I was over the whole retail, and I honestly don't see myself ever working at a retail store ever again. And it's just not for me. With respect to that, if you work at a retail store, I'm sure you can understand how customers can be, but it was everything put together, and I was just like, I don't want to stay. I don't want to be here. I do not want to be here. Getting free makeup was the best. I still have so much makeup that I have from Sephora, but to an extent, it wasn't making me happy. So I'm not gonna stay somewhere where I'm unhappy but I'm getting free makeup. Like, no, I'd rather not go. So that is basically it, guys. I'm so sorry if this video is long, but if you guys have any other questions, feel free to comment them down below. If you did work at Sephora, please comment down below and maybe say like your input. If your experience was complete opposite from my experience, maybe you can shine some light on Sephora working there. And because I know everybody has different experience, and maybe for you it was the best time of your life. So that was just my experience. Comment of the day, because I almost forgot to do comment of the day, is going to Jerlyn Lopez, a shout out to you, girl, because you're always supporting me. I always see you commenting, and I actually love your content so much. And I hope I don't think I shouted you out before. I need to make a list of who I shout out, but thank you so much for sticking to the end if you did, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.